Well, hey there, guys. Mandalorian Chapter 5 just came out. And, well, I watched it, and let's talk about it. It was, I'll say this, it was better than Chapter 4, in my opinion, but still, it kind of, the story is not really going anywhere, I think. I think they're trying to fill episodes. I really believe this was a movie that they cut into an 8-episode season, and it's like 35 minutes an episode, and they're trying to like fill in some stories to tell because their original movie was probably 2 hours or so. And that's only 4 episodes, I guess, if you take half-hour episodes. So I think they're trying to just fill in stories, and this episode would have been fine if this is a 22 normal TV show, 22 episodes, then fine. But it's not. It's only 8 episodes, and I just felt like it's not driving the story along. I still don't know where we're really going with this show, and it's already more than halfway over now. There's only a few episodes left. There's 3 chapters left now, and I don't know. I guess they're going to really have to pack a punch in the last 3 episodes because they're really not doing it in the last 2. I thought it started off strong. Episode 1 was a good setup. Episode 2, some people had its issues with it being a little slow. I personally liked the chapter 2. I keep saying episode. It's chapter 2. And then chapter 3, I thought so far is still the best. You had the Baby Yoda reveal in Chapter 1. You had the IG-22, the big shootout, getting to know the characters. Chapter 2 took it along with, you found out that other people were after this Baby Yoda to try to kill it. And the Jawa scene, obviously, was kind of the standout of that. And then you see Baby Yodeling use the Force and lift the beast. Chapter 3... obviously, it was the big scene of him going through and taking out the stormtroopers like Predator style. And then you have the Mandalorians all coming in on their jetpacks. A lot of stuff was happening. They were building a story. And the last 2 episodes, it's just kind of him roaming around with Baby Yoda, getting in a little trouble here and there, but it's not really driving the story along. So let's get into what this episode did give us. We see a little space battle. He's being chased at the beginning of the episode, and he pulls a couple swift maneuvers, takes the would-be killer, bounty hunter out, that's the CG. It's okay for $10 million an episode. I would really think it would look a little better. You could still tell it's TV. It's not terrible. It's good, but for $10 million an episode, I would really expect it to be a little more impressive than it is. But maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. And then he's got a problem with his ship, so he has to land on a planet. And hey, wouldn't you know it? It's Tatooine. Yep, he's back on Tatooine. So we go back to Tatooine. We've seen so many planets that look like Tatooine in recent Disney Star Wars, but now we actually get Tatooine. So he lands back at the spaceport. It's not Docking Bay 94. It's 30-something, I think he said. So, I'm glad it wasn't like they were trying to do too much nostalgia there. I thought the Tatooine stuff was fine. Just the kind of spaceport scene. You meet the woman. I wasn't crazy about the character. I thought it seemed a little too generic. The spaceport mechanic. I did like the little pit droids. I thought that was nice, throwing them in there from episode 1. So I liked seeing them in there. Mandalorian, Mando says, no, I don't want any droids touching it. So you kind of have this ongoing Star Wars thing with the humans versus the droids in some cases. And then he walks through the town and leaves Baby Yoda on the ship. I don't know why, but I guess he just doesn't want to carry him. Yeah, maybe it's not that. I guess I understand. Don't draw attention. Don't bring attention to yourself. Sure. So he goes to the town. He ends up at the cantina. The town is pretty empty. There's not a lot going on in that town. From what we've seen in in both the prequel and the original trilogy, Tatooine was a little more of a bustling place. A hub of space travelers and scum and villainy. And it seemed a little empty. he goes into the cantina, the famous cantina, and there's a droid serving drinks. So I don't know what happened on Tatooine from A New Hope to the Mandalorian time period. It hasn't been that many years, but apparently droids are not only allowed, they're working there. So that was interesting to see. A couple nice creatures in there, but overall it looked kind of empty. And then you meet this wannabe bounty hunter, and he was okay. At first, I don't know. I've watched the episode twice now, and at first I thought he was a little too much of like a Disney hired actor, and I still feel that way. But there were some nice things he did overall in the episode. The character was okay. It was okay. So he enlists Mandalorian to help him track down another bounty hunter. He's got a bounty. He wants to join the guild. Somehow he doesn't know that Mandalorian is being hunted himself. I don't know how he didn't know this. You think if you're trying to join an organization, you stay up to date with all the latest news, and seeing that the whole planet of Navarro was after him and this Baby Yoda, I would think, if he's a candidate, he would have known this, but I guess he doesn't. So Toro, who is the young wannabe bounty hunter, enlists Mando to help him find Fennec, who's played by Ming-Na Wen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's this, really badass bounty hunter, I guess, but there's a bounty out for her, so, all these bounty hunters also have bounties out for themselves, it seems. So Mando says yes, because he's going to get paid, and they go out and they try to find Fennec, and they're on their swoop bikes, and they're flying through the Tatooine desert. And again, cool scene. The CG again it's okay, but they come across sand people, Tusken Raiders. They got to cross through their land, and Mandalorian, he wants to. Well, he's communicating. He's trying to negotiate with them, and he's doing like sign language. And I don't know, from what I've understood so far, Tusken Raiders are kind of more savages, and they don't really want to interact with anyone. You think if Obi-Wan would have been able to interact with them, he was a Jedi Knight and skilled in negotiations, so I would have thought, if anyone can negotiate with these guys, Obi-Wan would have been able to. But even he was like, we got to get out of here. Nevertheless, Mando seems to know how. But it's one of those things that I think, I don't know. It was cool to see sand people, the Tusken Raiders. But at the same time, I don't know about the whole, the sign language thing. I kind of like to think of them as, doing their own thing and not wanting to be, if they come across you and you're in their way, that's it. They're going to attack you, because that's what we've seen so far. So they find this body, and they think maybe this is her. Of course, they've got these fobs again, that can track everybody, I guess. I don't know. The fobs are kind of an issue, but they find this body. It's not the Fennec, who they're after, but then Mandalorian realizes that the dead body has a fob on it. It's a different bounty hunter, and then he gets shot sniped by Fennec, who is a ace shot. So they take cover. They wait for nightfall. They have a plan to go after her. They've got these flash grenades. They throw up. It flashes in the sky, and then it blinds her so she can't see through her little viewfinder on her sniper rifle, and they get the jump on her. Mando gets shot a couple times, but he's got his Beskar armor, so he's okay. And then Toro gets a jump on her from behind. And there's a fight that ensues. She kicks Toro's butt pretty easily, playing up on the whole her as a martial arts specialist. But Mando does get a drop on her as she's about to break, or possibly break further, the arm of Toro. Mando's there with the gun and says cuff her, and they've got her. So now their swoop bike is damaged, so they have to go. Mando decides he's going to go and find the dewback to bring that back so they can carry their bounty back to the Mos Eisley. And this is where there was a nice moment here because I thought they were going to go with this. I thought they were going to go with this, the typical, this young kid who's naive and, ends up like being talked into doing something he shouldn't do by Fennec, who is, much smarter and wiser and sly. And I thought they were going to go that way. And they didn't. They changed it around, and he shoots and kills her because he realizes if he lets her go that, she's trying to sweet talk him, saying, Mandalorian's worth more. You don't understand. He just killed, everyone in the guild, and on this planet there's a big shootout, and everyone's after him now. Again, I don't know how he didn't know this, but he didn't know this. So he decides, well, then I'll just get rid of you and then go after Mandalorian and capture him because that's worth more money. And or not money, he's looking for like status. It's more legendary. So he kills her and then takes off to Tatooine or to Mos Eisley. Then we see Mando come back. He sees Fennec's dead, so decides to, he figures out what's going on. He goes back to Mos Eisley, and when he gets there, wouldn't you know it, but Toro has got the engineer lady and baby yodeling at gunpoint, and he's going to take Mando in. Of course, Mando is too sly, and he's got a flash grenade, gets it off in the air, blinds the poor young Toro, and then he gets, he swoops to the side and then shoots him, kills Toro as he's holding Baby Yoda, so Baby Yoda goes flying, which is kind of funny. So he gets his ship fixed and then takes off into the stars again. We see him, last shot of him going in the ship in the stars. It's like, I think it's almost every episode now, he's leaving the planet in the stars. And then you get this little extra scene of footsteps walking up to the dead body of Fennec in the out beyond the Dune Sea. And you don't know who it is. You get the footsteps, and then you kind of get whoever it is starts to kneel down next to the body. But you do hear this little device. So I'm thinking it was a tracker device, maybe a bounty device. I don't know if this is Boba Fett or not. I hope I don't know, because if they try to go this route of bringing Boba Fett in to be like the really main villain, and but that means Mandalorian's gonna have to kill him at some point because Mandalorian's the hero. So if the Mandalorian and Boba Fett are the big adversaries, and he ends up taking out Boba Fett, I think it's gonna make a lot of people angry. I hope I'm thinking it's not Boba Fett though. I think that's a tracking device, like one of the fobs. So I think it's another bounty hunter that we're gonna maybe explore their story. But I don't know. It could be Boba Fett. People have already analyzed like the boots and everything, but I'm guessing he wouldn't be wearing the same clothes that he was starting to get digested in the Sarlacc pit. He's probably had a clothing change since then. So we'll see. That's the big spoiler. So that's the episode. Overall, not terrible, but it's just, I don't know. It didn't really drive the story. I didn't really learn anything more about Mandalorian, the Mandalorian, Mando. In this episode. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, and hit that subscribe button if you have not, and like this video and share it. It means a lot to me, and to continue to grow this channel. I appreciate it, guys. Till next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.